Hello, creative people. Welcome to Creative Conversations. My name is Hollis Citron, and we are so happy and grateful that you have chosen to spend this hour with us. And happy Hallmark holiday, happy Valentine's Day, sending lots of love to everyone. Every day you should tell people that you love each other, not just one day, but sending it out here on this day. So, want to give you a little bit of background as to where this podcast was born from. It's from my company, I Am Creative, and my mission is to expand the definition of creativity beyond a pencil and a paintbrush and to empower people, especially adults, to own their talents. That come in so many different forms. The fact is that when you take action and actually incorporate your voice, your expression, all of this into your daily life, I promise you, you will feel more connected, more inspired, more expressive, and just happy. So in this space, I get to talk to so many inspiring people that have jobs, interests, hobbies that have varied from doctor, lawyer, real estate agents, hormone biohacker, actress, and so many more. And the conversation is structured around 3 questions. 1, how do you define creativity? 2, how do you incorporate it into your life? And 3, why do you think it's important? And then we have a free-flowing conversation, and we see where it goes from there. So my inspiring guest for today, who is like a superhero to me, truly, her name is Mogul Queen. She is a mother of 6, 1 being special needs. She is a nurse and an activist for change with a nonprofit organization called Rare Jewel. July 8th, 2013, her family attended a hotel pool and her daughter suffered a near drowning experience, which resulted in a traumatic brain injury. So I want to introduce Miss Mogul Queen. Okay, so I'm so happy that you're here. So we got through the bio. So is there anything that you would like to add to the bio?
No. I mean, that's the most current bio I ever had. Like the only and most current bio I have.
Mhm. Well, you know what? Why don't you tell people a little bit more about, I know that we're going to dive into it and they'll hear more, but give people a little bit more of your story now and how Rare Jewel came to be, please.
Okay, more so, all right. Well, I know we're speaking about pain turning into passion, and I just wanted to take it back, if I could,
Mm-hmm.
to a text in the Latin root word. The Latin root word for passion
Mm-hmm.
means suffering or enduring, right? And
Mm.
passion is, and it's at its core, a form of pain that demands it be quenched. So
Wow.
I'm at a point that my pain demanded me for it to be quenched. So I went from a lot of trials. I'm talking about for me being shot at the age of 2 to me being a high school dropout, hanging in the streets, and then finding myself when I had my first son at 18 years old, then going forward 4 kids later, being my daughter Jernica, having her near drowning at a hotel pool that we had went to go visit, and right there, it all, that's where my pain was at its most deepest, but it quenched me to have a passion for the pain that I went through. And so the passion came in, and then I knew that after all that we went through with the near drowning and all the hospital stays and all the close calls, of her being on an ICU on life support, that I knew that this pain had to be something passionate about it. And then there came the birth of Rare Jewel nonprofit organization, founded in 2020 on March 13th, which is National Traumatic Brain Injury Awareness Day. And when you talk about creativeness, I was scared to be creative in my pain that turned into passion. So,
Yeah.
the pain that I went through, uh, at that moment, I decided to turn it into passion, and the passion being was the birth of Rare Jewel nonprofit organization. And so when we talk about creativeness, I was like, you know what? I don't know when I'm gonna start this, and I don't know where I'm gonna start this at, but
Hmm.
I need a sign. I need a sign. I need to know when, where am I going to start? I know I wanted to get ready and I wanted to be right away. So I said, you know what? When is National Traumatic Brain Injury Awareness? Is there any awareness for traumatic brain injury children, if any? So when I looked it up last January, it said it was March 13th. And so from that moment forward, I created everything around March 13th. I wanted March 13th to be the biggest day that, if anything possible, I can imagine for traumatic brain injury children. And so I said, that's the day I'm going to launch this nonprofit organization. This is the day that I'm going to tell the whole world what is the dangers and the pools of, around in the world, and the safety that we must give the children to be able to be, enjoying the open water play. And I just went out nervous, and I said to the whole world, "Hey, I'm starting a nonprofit organization called Rare Jewel." And everybody gravitated to it, like, "Wait, what? You're starting a nonprofit? What does it entail?" So when I told them, I'm like, "Yeah, I want to collect and distribute life jackets and give them out to children 5 and under." They was like, "That sounds amazing." And they was like, "Well, what will make you do that?" I said, "Well, my daughter had a near drowning 7 years back, and what could have possibly saved her life, or possibly not gave her the traumatic brain injury, was in the event of a life jacket. That's all I heard throughout the beginning of the months of her being inpatient in hospitals. So if I can save one young life, I will start by distributing life jackets." And everybody was like, "Whoa, that's amazing." So that is the beginning of how Rare Jewel nonprofit organization started.
I'm like speechless on this end because you have so many incredible things that you just said in there about how that like fine line of like passion means suffering and pain, and how you took that and how you turned it, how you took all of this, what one could perceive as and actually is, all of this pain that happened throughout your life, and then this like tip of the iceberg, from what it sounds like to me, and you tell me if that's right, is like this happened with your daughter, and then you're, I need, like, I am passionate now, I am like, I need to get the word out there and help as many people as I can.
Yes, and that's how it started. When you see your daughter just, going through so many hospitalizations, Hollis, I'm talking about in this past year alone, we had to had at least 40 or 50 admissions into the hospital. Just this last year, be going into 2020, and currently she's inpatient right now in the hospital. So,
Right.
come last year we had about 40, 50 admissions alone, and I'm talking about we've been doing this for 7 years now. So
Right.
in the event that pain, just seeing your child go through so much pain and struggling, you have to find something passionate about it. And if you can't help the situation, or you can help the situation by spreading the word and actually saving one young life by giving out these life jackets. And somebody had to step up, and I said, you know what, it's going to be me, because I've seen it firsthand. I saw it firsthand. I'll be the one to tell everybody what's happening with this open water play. I'll be the one to spread it, and let everyone know the dangers of in pool safety.
Yeah. So we're going to dive into the first question in a minute. But I also want to add to this also, I mean, through this, you also went back to nursing school and you got your degree.
I did, and in my passion, in my passion, I the physicians will say, this is not going to be the same little girl that you knew once. She's a and this little girl is going to need a lot of care, and she's going to need a lot of love, and she's going to need, a lot of attention. And so then my passion came to saying, okay, well, if I'm gonna need to know this little girl, then I'm gonna do whatever I have to do to know her inside out. And when these doctors talk in their terminology, I want to know everything that has to do with my daughter. So you know what? After I had my fifth child, he was 3 months old. I just clearly out the blue decided to get up and Google the next nursing school, the closest nursing school. And then the closest nursing school was like 4 miles away from my home. And I said, this is the nursing school I'm going to go to. And then I went there, and a week later I started. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" He was like, "No, you start a week later." And I'm like, "Okay, you know, like all right, you sometimes you just think that you're gonna show up, and then like it'll all fall, like not fall through. So you just go home and you just feel like you accomplished at least trying. But when the guy said that I actually got accepted and I have to come now, I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna be a nurse. I guess I'm gonna be a nurse. And never in my life did I thought I would be a nurse, but here I am, a
Mhm.
nurse. And and it was all came from my passion. And you know what, Hollis, I don't regret it. I love it so much. It has brought so much awareness, just mentally, and it did a lot for me. Just knowing that I'm not only knowing how to take care of my daughter and her situation, but I'm able to communicate better with the physicians that are taking care of her and telling them from not only a mother's standpoint, but from a nurse's standpoint, what is going on with my child. So it's better. It was all the way around. I don't regret it at all.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean, the fact that all the reasons why you did it, and I mean, have that communication to know, like you said, to know what's going on with your daughter inside and out, and to be able, because doctors talk and their doctor speak. So, and it gets overwhelming. You're in a situation that's very overwhelming because you're connected emotionally. So, to be able to communicate with them on that kind of level, I'm sure is incredibly helpful.
Yes, it is, especially like when we're admitted inpatient and she's like has the IV machines and they beat for anything. When she first had got into her accident back in 2013, every time the machine beat, my heart dropped. It dropped for any little thing. And now when I go in there, I'm actually knowing what the machines are for. And when they start beeping, I know how to turn them off and I know what's going on. And I can alarm, the nurse that, to come in and, change things out. Or, if something don't look right, I'm able to speak up and say, hey, this don't look right. And, when they do her vital signs, I know that they're stable or which way we're going. So definitely knowledgeable. I say to a lot of the girls around here that I know, if you don't do nothing else, I almost feel like if you a mother, go to nursing school because like nursing school taught me so much on, to keep my kids healthy and how to take
Mhm.
care of all my kids at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let's dive into this first question, and then we
Okay.
will we'll dive in more. So, okay. So, how do you define creativity?
How do I define creativity? I
Hmm.
define creativity in the moment. I'm a spur of the moment person and I'm like tuned more so into my emotional being. So my creativity will be to me my emotions because my emotions allow me to be creative.
Hmm.
Yeah, my emotions drive me. Yeah, they drove me into nursing school, they drove me into the nonprofit organization. They drove me into being a juvenile care coordinator for another nonprofit organization called Saving Grace Ministries. Like my creativity drives me to the next step in where I want to be because my emotional being is really surrounded by children. So children bring out my creativity. What do I want to create? What kind of atmosphere I want to create for these children around me? And that's how I end up, driving up in my creativity.
I love that. So you actually have, it's like having that purpose. It's like a very specific purpose. And then from that
Yes,
purpose, then you get passionate about it and feeling like, I want to be able to have this space for my kids. I want to be able to have this organization for my daughter in order to be able to like help one person at a time, which just goes like that whole ripple effect of another person and another person to help.
absolutely. When I first started the nonprofit organization, like I said before, I didn't know where this nonprofit organization was going to go. So when I posted it up on Facebook, it spread it like wildfire. I started getting inboxes, messages. Oh, oh my God, I would love to hear more about it because, my friend and me were swimming one day and my friend drowned, and is no longer living. So I'm thankful that you starting a nonprofit organization, so that definitely brought my passion to keep on spreading it. And now we're going into our first annual March 13th. It will be celebrated virtually 3 p.m. all the way to 7 p.m. evening, through Facebook, all the major platforms.
Ooh, so what are you going to do?
So we're going to start off by asking everyone to send to my email, which is rarejewelnp@gmail.com, a short video of you just, saying a warm, congratulations, or, you know, uh, anything that you want to say, a greeting to the nonprofit organization. And what we're going to do is we're going to compile all of the greetings and all of the congratulations into one like movie. And at 3 p.m., we will start with the movie. And the movie will upload to all of the platforms, and we'll be able to stream it live. We're going to stream that live.
Mm-hmm.
And then I believe at, what is it? Between, I think, 5 p.m., we're going to do the moment of silence, and we're asking if anyone knows any child that had a near drowning or has drowned, that they can send over a short story of of their loved one. And during the moment of silence, we're going to actually do another short movie where we're showing all of the compile of all the loved ones that have passed away due to drowning. And then at 7 p.m., we're going to do giveaways.
Mm-hmm. Sounds amazing.
Yeah, so we have a long day.
Yeah. As you were talking, it was like just coming to me that you're like a major connector. Like you're very connected to, your community. And it seems like people are
Yeah,
very drawn to you because as soon as you got this idea, which you didn't know how it was going to happen, so your passion was ignited, you were like, I got to do something. Not sure how I'm going to do. Then you were like, I'm going to start a nonprofit. I'm not sure how I'm going to start a nonprofit, but you just put it out there and all these people just gravitated towards you. Is community a really big thing for you?
yeah, it really is a big thing. The support has been amazing. The support has definitely been amazing. Everybody personally knew Juji um, already before the accident. So it's kind of like they knew her before the accident, they knew her after the accident. So it was kind of like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to help spread this awareness because we clearly just saw her in her healthy 2-year-old self. And then now she's, in her new life
Mm-hmm.
disability. She's a special needs child. She's medically complicated now. So that kind of helped me along the way too, just having close family and friends that knew her before and after. And they were like, yes, like, giving me that energy, like, yes, yes, come on, come through with it because we're definitely going to support you. Like people was trying to find ways, how can they help me in my situation? And I believe that I gave them that outlet to help me.
Have you lived where you are?
In Camden.
Yeah.
Well, I lived in Camden till I was about 10 years old. Then I went to Puerto Rico for 2 years. And I came back, I believe I was like 12 and a half years old when I came back down from Puerto Rico. So I did go to school in Puerto Rico, and I came here in the United States since then.
You've been in Camden most of your life.
Most, yes.
Yeah. So you have the people around you, which is amazing. I mean, when you have people around you that know you, that you have history with all that you're doing, that's, I mean, there's that connection that's just so strong.
Yes. It's definitely a strong connection. I mean, some people don't like me because of the attention that that the nonprofit organization had received, and then some people love me, and I'm gravitating more towards the love than the hate. So I just love that people gravitated towards me with all that love and in my passion, because I did it out of my passion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes people, don't you think? I mean, sometimes people don't know exactly what to do with all of that positivity or all of that passion coming out at one time. So sometimes it can turn around to be kind of like they just either turn away from you or it can just be negative because they just don't know what to do with it. I don't know if that makes sense.
Right, right. Like a lot of people sat back, like what? How? They was like, what? They was already tired. Like she just went from no education in 2015, not even having a high school diploma in 2015. Then you're trying to tell me that this girl since 2015 has gotten her high school diploma, has went to nursing school, has graduated from nursing school, had her sixth child, and then now started her nonprofit organization by 2020? No
Oh my
way.
God.
I'm definitely not, I'm definitely not encouraging her no more, because what else would she do next with her passion? You understand what I'm saying? So I
Which is
believe it's
which
not they
is
don't know what to do with it. They just like, no, I don't want to see no more.
mm, which is
you
crazy to have
know?
all these. It's crazy to have all these haters when you're having like such success. I mean, I'm like sitting here like six kids, six kids,
Right.
and all of this success. Like you just transformed yourself and you were just like, oh my God. Okay, so let's move to the second question. So the second question is, so I know you have your nonprofit, but how do you incorporate creativity into your own life?
Just staying optimistic and faithful. I stay faithful in knowing that God has me and he always did. So I don't even look forward to the next day. I just live in the moment. Whatever is gonna happen in this day, I take it all in this day. I don't go ahead of myself. I stay right in the moment. So that's what I will at the end will say. I live in the moment.
What are some things that you like doing with your kids?
My kids, I have four boys. So three of my boys, my older boys, were athletic since they were young. So we did like a lot of athletic activities that took up most of our days on the weekends. So we would be literally at the football field from morning to night. And I'm telling you because my third oldest son, he was in Pee Wee, so he will be early in the morning. Then we probably would like stay for the second game, and then like the third one would be one son, and then the fourth one would be the other. But by the time we got off the field, it was literally like 5, 6 o'clock. So we do that, and now they all have grown on me. The older ones, they have grown on me and found their own little thing to do, and it's okay because I still have the little ones, and they're so easier to please. Like today, I just got them a bag full of candy, and the little one opened it up, and he's like, "Oh, mom, you love me so much," So that was fun, you know
Oh.
that was fun to do. And I mean, considering the fact that I have a medically complicated child that's inpatient right now, and she's been in there almost 3 weeks, to just come out of the hospital and come home and greet the kids with candy, and they love it. And they don't think nothing of it and I don't miss a moment, I just be appreciative of that. So that's kind of some fun things I like to do with the kids and just, surprise them with things at times.
Mm-hmm. Well, what's amazing well, first let me ask, how old are you? What's the age range of your kids?
So my oldest son is 18, he'll be 19
Mm-hmm.
in May. Then I have a 16-year-old, he'll be 17 years old, excuse me, in April. Then I have a 13-year-old. Then the 10-year-old now is Juji. She was 2 years old when it happened. Now she's 10 years old. She's
Wow.
growing on me very fast. And
Mm-hmm.
then we skip all the way down to 4 years old. And then my little lyric, she'll be 2 next Saturday. So
Mm-hmm.
I have a
Oh,
4 year old and a two and about to be 2 year old.
okay. Happy birthday to her.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Kaheem listening. Which one is he? Is he the 18-year-old or the
He's
16-year-old?
yeah, the
Okay.
third oldest.
So then asking for you, like what amazes me about you is with all of this going on is I mean, I understand the motherhood part from I have two kids, but when you have all this stuff going on and then, when you get into mom mode, when you're in mom mode the whole time, but then you walk in the house and you're walking into a whole different scenario. So you're not getting that downtime. You have to switch gears. It's kind of like, okay, so now I'm like doing this, I'm making the food, I'm doing, all that you do as being the mom. So what do you do for yourself? Like, do you take time for yourself to do something that you enjoy or just have some quiet time?
You know, Alice, I like my sister. She pushes me out of my element. So like she goes to go get her nails done, and she'll call me, "Hey, let's go get our nails done." So I do take time out to be a sister as well. So I have my moment with her. We catch up. We doing our nails and our eyebrows and our feet. So I do have that moment where we go get our little selves pampered. Um, but my downtime, honestly, would be sleeping when I can. That's my downtime because it be days sometimes that I go without sleep. Especially I just had Jernica home with me for 6 whole weeks, and I was not only her caretaker, her nurse. So I was around the clock 24 hours with her. So now that she's in the hospital, I've been like taking time to sleep. So I would say that's what I like to do in my downtime. Sleep, even if it's an hour or two, to catch up for them days that I don't. And some days I don't even get around to what I want to do, but it's all worth it. It's all worth it. I love having a big family, so um, it's just I don't know. Like I don't really think too much of it. I just be like, okay, now I can get sleep in. Like okay, she's in the hospital right now. I can get some sleep. Well, when she come home though, she will have nurses this time around, so I won't have to worry about that. But like okay, now I can get some sleep, and oh now I can run to the nail salon or um I would have to say, shout out to my older kids because they do help me a great deal, with my little ones and even with, Joel Nika being medically complicated. My oldest son took into taking how to take care of her to give me some time to be able to relax back and not have to, be so much on top of everything. So I would, like to say thank you to them because, um, when it comes down to Jonica, we as a family really work as a team. And I have to appreciate that so much because a lot of things wouldn't be possible for me to do if I didn't have them.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. That's really, yeah. It's again, there's the whole community. There's people coming together and just being there for each
Right.
other, having each other's back. Like that's what you need. How about with Rare
Yeah.
Jewel? Like with for the nonprofit, is it just you or do you have somebody there helping you with stuff?
Well, the first year it was just me and my sister. Then I now want to turn it over to a 501c3. I'm trying to work out um, the rest of the money with the lawyers so like that we can be able to uh, turn over the nonprofit to a 501c3. But I do now have a full board. I have four directors now, I believe, a secretary, and 11 advisory board members. So,
Wonderful.
yeah, so I would say that, the nonprofit is going successfully right now.
That's incredible. Good. So you have the support, so you don't have to be like this one person show. And
Right, and then nobody really believed it. It was really like what? Like she got the medical professionals on her own. She really set up a whole launch on her own. Like she really called in people to come and assist her for the launch on her own. Like where did she find time at? Believe me, some of them calls were made in the middle of the night from the hospital. I made those calls. In fact, I got dressed at the hospital to go over to the launch to launch the nonprofit organization while Jernica was in the hospital in ICU.
see, this is where, I mean, your passion is just like through the roof. You have this mission. I mean, you just have
I
this
do.
mission. Like, you have this expression, this voice where you're just like, you found your voice and you just are like on a mission to get it out there, and nothing is going to stop you.
Nothing. You know what I always say? I put it out there so my ending to what would you call it? Like a positive quote that I say all the time. It really is me because I really feel that way when it comes down to it. I always say my positive quote is, for one to care, one must have compassion. And where there is compassion, you will find love. Spread it far and wide until it's contagious. So
Mhm.
I feel like I spread it, my love far and wide, that is contagious now. So, it gravitated back towards me, and I can't be more than thankful that
Yeah,
it happened.
it's like that whole karma thing. I mean, you what you put out, you get back. So you're putting out so much positivity and so much love, and people just want to, your people are going to be the ones that are going to be there for you and just support you and carry you all the way.
Absolutely. I believe that the nonprofit organization will live even beyond my years. Like my children will be able to still spread this love far and wide, even after me. I believe that this will build, was building our household name. So even after me, my children will be able to carry on this legacy of this rare jewel nonprofit organization. And their children's children will be able to tell a tale of once of a time, that my grandmom or my great grandmom started this nonprofit organization, and here we are, such and such years later, still spreading the love far and wide.
I
That's
love
that's my whole dream goal. I would love that. This is was a family effort, and it will continue to be a family effort, and this will be generations and generations to come of telling the tale of why this rare jewel nonprofit organization is so admirable in our family, and why we continue the mission.
it. Mhm. And it will. Yeah, I mean, there's not a question because it's just you're bringing up this topic that I mean, I don't know. It's you're bringing up this topic that is very important about water safety and how to save people's lives, and it has not. It can only get better and better and stronger and stronger. So I want to
Yes.
ask you, using your, if it has to be your imagination, or what is something like that just for you, like if you could have like a hobby or something to do just for you, what is something that that might be?
Traveling. I love to travel.
Mhm.
That's what I would like to do. I did tell myself, I wanted to take some time out to travel, even if it's for a weekend, because I do have my children, and I'm so overprotective of my children that if it's just a weekend that I travel, one or two times out of the month, I'm definitely down for it. But it will be traveling. I love sightseeing. I want to see the world for what it is, and it's a lot of beautiful places out there. And I want to be able to say that I saw that place. So I would
Yeah,
say traveling.
yeah, yeah. I love it. Where is there a place that you would love to go to the most? That's like the top of the list.
I was just telling my sister that I wanted to go see Ireland. Like, I don't know, like, just the look of it when I saw a little short clip video. I'm like, wow, Ireland looks like, so peaceful. I'm not really worried about like being, partying. I think I just want to take in the atmosphere of how beautiful the world is shaped. So Ireland is so beautiful looking to me that I was talking to my sister about that the other day. So that might be one of like my top listen, like San Cruz or something like that. So I don't know. Maybe I might just put like the top five and like spin it, and then whichever one that fall on that might be the one I'll go to first.
There we go. You could do when things open up and all of that kind of stuff when we get back to whatever it's going to look like and people can travel again really and all that. Then
Right.
you could do
Mhm.
a family trip or um, take time for you, whatever it is.
Absolutely. I mean, like me and the kids travel too. Like, well, we don't travel far. We'll probably go to Atlantic City and get a hotel room. But the hotel room is like in a resort, so they have like a lot of kid-friendly things. So
Mhm.
they get to run around and enjoy themselves, and I get to get some leisure time because they're being busy. So it
Right.
works out for all of us. So I
Exactly.
do enjoy that kind of stuff too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, okay, so let's move on to the third question, and then you're going to tell us again how people can connect with you. And I want to recognize the people that are here live. So I'm so happy that you're here. And any questions or comments, please feel free to put them in the chat box and we will get to them. So the third question is, so why is creativity important?
Creativity is important because it gives me a positive outlook, a positive reach out to people. Creativity draws in people to your imagination and what are you thinking. So when I create these moments, people get to draw in and know what I'm thinking, and what I'm thinking can be brought into their creativity and then their creativity. So I would say that that's what happens. I feel like my creativity um, lets people know what I'm thinking of.
Hmm. I love it. So it's kind of like you're outwardly sharing it, and then these people are just like again connecting with you, and then you can just work off of each other. Your imagination
Right.
just kind of grows. It's like, oh, so you're thinking this, and then you're thinking this, and then you like bounce ideas off of each other, and then it just gets bigger and bigger.
Absolutely. Like when I'm talking about um, the virtual first anniversary, and people like, oh, like how she's gonna do an anniversary in the middle of a pandemic. I said we're going virtual, and everybody's like, you going virtual? I'm like, yeah, we're gonna start off with asking everybody to send in video clips, and then I'm gonna compact them and put them as a movie, and they're looking at me like, what? Like you're gonna do that? Absolutely. Like why not?
Yeah.
Always want this to be a community effort, so I wanted everybody to join in. Let's get these videos in, and then and they looking at me like, oh, and then my creative director Jordan was like, I love that idea, I can do that for you. So I'm like, yes.
Mhm.
So my ideas bounced off to my creative director, and my creative director gave me the energy to keep on being creative.
Mhm. Mhm. Well, these times definitely, I mean, it's kind of like sink or swim, literally, because you have to get your creativity, you have to problem solve This is about, okay, so if this isn't working, then how can I make it work? We used to do things this way, but now we can't do it this way. So instead of saying I can't, how am I going to tweak it? How am I going to switch it up so it'll happen? And it's a matter of like trying things. I know for me, it's a matter of trying things, messing up, seeing how I can change it. But I often get like these visions in my head, and then I'm like, okay, so I'm going to do this. And then, okay, well, that didn't work, but then how can we make it happen? And this is what these times are. And it's just been really amazing, actually.
Absolutely. Those creative thinkers really have the floor, right now because um, we could think outside of our box now and not look so crazy because everybody is literally either sitting still or wanting to find something to do, right? So the stand still people, they like, okay, we don't have anything to do. But here comes the creative thinker and changes the mood for them. And then the ones that are already up and about that need something to do or have something to do could be able to be spreading it around. So, like those when I go virtual, those that are sitting down can actually enjoy the whole annual for the organization because the pandemic really has everybody at standstill right now.
Mm-hmm. I love that though, because I love what you just said about people standing still or finding something to do. It's kind of like you fall into those categories. It's like, which one
Exactly.
are you going to just like do nothing, or are you going to sit there and say, okay, I'm going to take some control. I have to tell you, like somebody that I know, so she lives in Colombia and she used to live in the States, but she had lived in Colombia for like a number of years. And she wrote a book and she had a book signing, and it wasn't able to happen. It was the beginning of the pandemic. And it ended up going, she did it virtually. And it was the best experience because she had people from all over the world jump on Zoom to congratulate her for this book that she just wrote. So she had people from Australia, she had people from Colorado, from Vermont, from California, from New Jersey. She had people from all over wishing her luck when that wouldn't have happened before if she just had the book signing in her neighborhood,
Absolutely. Yeah,
you
like
know?
me, I have physicians across seas, that actually tune in to everything that I go ahead and I upload to Facebook and all the platforms, and they actually like it. And that wouldn't have happened if I would have just kept it local. And the pandemic wouldn't have happened. I would never knew that, those physicians were actually physicians that work down here at Cooper University and at Lady Allures. Like they're literally from the States, but moved outwards. They wouldn't have the opportunity to enjoy or, even recognize that a new nonprofit organization was happening in their hometown had I not went virtual with it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I'm actually like sitting here like so excited for you because I can see in my head so many connections for you literally all over the world. Like with your virtual event on March 13th, I feel like you could have people join you from all parts of the world to be able to gain a better understanding of what your mission is.
You know what, and I'm gonna love every little bit of it. I am definitely looking forward to it. I am going to enjoy it for what it is, and hopefully I can start traveling once the pandemic slows down and comes to their neighborhood and tell them in person, everything that I know about children with traumatic brain injuries related to near drowning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Spread your voice, spread your mission. You are a powerful woman.
Thank you so much, Holly.
Seriously. So again, getting to the top of the hour, if you could please again share out with people how they can find you. That I will put it in the show notes, but yeah, if you could just say it again because some more people did jump on.
That's fine. You can find me on major platforms as Facebook and Rare Jewel. nonprofit organization. You can find me on Instagram under rare underscore jewel 313, Twitter with under rare jewel. Um, my email address is rarejewelnp, N as in Nancy, P as in Paul, at gmail.com. My phone number is 856-895-8915. My name is Jernica, also known as the Mogul Queen. And I believe I covered all of them.
Yeah, you did. You did. So I'll put all that in there. But Jernica, I am so happy and grateful that you were able to get on and that you took this hour to talk to us. Thank you so much for sharing your light.
Thank you, Alice. I definitely appreciate all the love and light that you send my way. It definitely makes my day better, and I appreciate you so much for letting me come on and talk about my passion and my nonprofit and mission here on Earth.
Hmm. Well, I'm sure you're an inspiration to so many people, and I would love to help you just like spread it because it's just all good stuff. So grateful that you're here and so grateful to the listeners and people taking this time to listen. Thank you so much because I know time is so precious. This space is all about inspiring each other, connecting with each other, and sharing stories. So please like, follow, and share so we can just get it out there and empower people to feel connected and feel community and feel happy. So that's what this space is for. So I'm very grateful to everybody and happy Valentine's Day. Sending love on this Hallmark holiday, but it's love every day, just sending it out. So again, thank you so much, everybody. And I wish you a wonderful day, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in this world. So goodbye, everybody.